My partner made me the most delicious breakfast cheesecake the other day, and since then I've been obsessed. In today's video, I'll show you the recipe plus 3 tasty variations from a black forest gateau to an apple and blackberry crumble. This is sure to replace the overnight oats that you've been eating for however long, and it's just as nutritious and satisfying. Now weirdly, I'm not actually a huge fan of regular cheesecake. I usually find they're too rich or sickly, whereas these yogurt cheesecakes, they're light, they're fresh, and you actually feel good after eating them. For the cheesecake base, we're starting with oats going into the food processor. Then I've got some ground almonds. For a little bit of sweetness, I'm going to be using some dates, but you could use a liquid sweetener like maple syrup, or you could just use plain sugar. You could probably use raisins if you soak them first. This is definitely the hardest part of getting a new tub of peanut butter, getting the oil mixed in. I don't know about you guys, but when I open a jar or even a kilo tub of peanut butter, I have to resist not digging in with a spoon. And frankly, I usually give in to that temptation. Then I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of peanut butter. I'm going for chunky, but you're welcome to use smooth if you want. And then just blend it into a crumb. So this is looking good. You can see it's starting to clump together in places, but it's not a stodgy mess. You should be able to mold it together, but it should also be slightly crumbly. It shouldn't go together like really easily. It'll just come together in sort of like a rough sort of ball. Very simply, just spoon in how much crumble mix you want in your cheesecake. I like to make a decent layer. I'm using these water glasses just because they look quite nice, but I'd usually use a jar or a Tupperware. And then you just want to press it down. I usually use a rolling pin, that works quite well. Or you can use the back of the spoon just to compact it nicely. So for this basic recipe, I'm just going to add 1 tablespoon of chia seeds and just a little bit of lemon zest. We'll make some more exciting flavors later in the video. This is just to show you the basic technique. And then just mix them in. The chia seeds are going to help thicken the yogurt so that the toppings can sit on top nicely. And then just pour onto your cheesecake base. If I had a really thick variety of plant-based yogurt, then I could just add the toppings straight away, but this variety isn't super thick, so I'm going to pop it in the fridge for about 20-30 minutes first. And we'll top the basic yogurt cheesecake recipe with this lovely blueberry compote that I made earlier. And that's going to sit nicely on top. Wow. Have a look at that. That is so good. Blueberry and lemon, a really classic flavor combination. Simple, but delicious. No one wants the same breakfast every morning. Sure, it's convenient, but life isn't always about convenience, and these different flavor variations are going to add a bit of excitement to your breakfast. So let's jazz them up with some different flavors and toppings. Today is a great day to join the Earthy Goodness Kitchen Insider community because I've just released the quarterly recipe PDF. This PDF contains all my delicious recipes from the last 3 months of videos, all in one place for you to enjoy. There's a colored version and a black and white version for those of you who prefer to print it. So head on over to my Patreon page and you can either go to the shop and buy it on its own, or a better option is to sign up as either an insider or a VIP and you'll have it included in your membership. Plus all the past PDFs and some other fun bonuses. Okay, back to the cheesecake. For the apple and blackberry crumble, I just put a little bit of cinnamon in the oat base, and then we've got the standard yogurt with the chia seeds, just with an extra dash of vanilla essence. And again, I'll just pop that in the fridge for 15 minutes. I'm going to quickly stew some apple and blackberries. I've just diced the apple fairly small so it cooks nice and quickly. And then we'll add in our blackberries, which I just picked from the bushes near my house. And then just a touch of maple syrup and a little squeeze of lemon. Cooking blackberries reminds me of my childhood and going out to the local park to pick blackberries with my family. There was one particular time where me, my brother, and my nan went out and we could see some particularly good blackberries high up in the bush. And so my nan went first and she slowly got pushed further and further into the bush until we may have pushed her a little bit too far. But it was worth it for the extra juicy blackberries. Although I'm not sure she thought that. I'm also going to add just a splash of water. The colour of those blackberries is just beautiful. So there is our very quickly stewed apple and blackberries, ready to top the yogurt. We'll just let them cool down. I'm going to make some very easy toasted oats to go on the apple and blackberry crumble cheesecake. We're simply going to add maple syrup to some oats, plus a little olive oil to help them get really nice and crispy. Then just give them a really good mix. And I'm going to do them in the air fryer, and I've just lined it with some baking parchment. Then just spread them out really thinly across the bottom. And then we'll just pop them in the air fryer for, I think, around 10-15 minutes at 180 degrees. After 5 minutes, they're already starting to look nice and golden brown. So I'm going to give them a quick mix up, and then we'll pop them back in for another 5 minutes. So these ended up having about 12 minutes, and they are beautifully golden, and we'll just leave them to cool until they're crispy. Spoon on those delicious apple and blackberries. As you can see, the chia seeds have really firmed out that yogurt, and they're holding the compote or the stewed fruit really nicely. And then a good sprinkling of those lovely crunchy oats. Optionally, a little dusting of, oh dear, that was a lot of cinnamon. And there you have it, that is your apple and blackberry crumble breakfast oats. Okay, apple and blackberry crumble, a childhood favorite. Let's take a look at that. Honestly, it tastes exactly like an apple and blackberry crumble. You've got the vanilla yogurt acting like a custard. You've got these cinnamon toasted oats, which are just absolutely delicious. And then the apple and blackberry compote, that's a tried and tested winner. Give this one a go. For the Black Forest gateaux, it's going to start the same way with 1 tablespoon of chia seeds. But then we're going to split it into 2 batches. To one half, we're going to add a little vanilla essence, and to the other half, some cocoa powder. And then just mix to combine. So now we'll have a chocolatey yogurt layer and a vanilla yogurt layer. This flavour variation goes out to my mum, who absolutely loves Black Forest gateaux, and it's definitely starting to grow on me. But I won't be adding any kirsch, whereas my mum definitely would be. The cheesecake base is the same, and we're going to start by adding in our chocolate yogurt. And then on top will go our vanilla layer. Okay, so obviously I didn't do that particularly evenly. But if you like chocolate, then that's going to be a good thing. This is going to go in the fridge for a few minutes now. Next, I've just defrosted some frozen cherries. You could make cherry compote, but cherries are already fairly sweet, so I think this is absolutely fine. Load it up with cherries, it's looking good. And then finish your Black Forest gateaux with a nice grating of dark chocolate. This is literally going everywhere. Okay, I think this one's going to be quite decadent. Just look at that. Wow, that is so good. It's not as rich as I thought it would be, actually. Beautiful sweet cherries, then you get the vanilla yogurt, and then a hit of that sort of bitter chocolate really helps cut through the sweetness. Absolutely amazing. For the tropical cheesecake, I'm going to toast some coconut in a dry pan, and that's going to be going into the cheesecake base, but also sprinkled on top. This should only take a few minutes, and you want to keep a close eye on it, as it can go from brown to burnt very quickly. To my cheesecake base, I'm going to add half of the lovely toasted coconut, and just stir that through. And then once again, we're just going to add it into the pot and crush it down until it's nice and compacted. Again, we're going to add a tablespoon of chia seeds, but then we're also going to add some lovely fresh zingy lime zest to go along with the tropical theme. I'm just adding the zest and not the juice, as that would make the yogurt mix a bit too runny. And then just mix that through and pour onto your coconutty base. And then into the fridge just for 15 minutes to firm up. Last but definitely not least is the tropical cheesecake, which we are topping with some lovely mango, which I've just defrosted from the freezer. Although these are summery flavors, I actually like to have this one in winter to add a bit of sunshine into the day. And with the power of the freezer, you can get mango all year round, which is just great. And then finish it with some more of that toasted coconut. Beautiful. And there you have it, that is your tropical cheesecake breakfast. Now for a tropical hit. That coconut's delicious. If I was to make this again, I'll probably add even more lime zest and maybe some lime juice as well. I'm sure the chia seeds would soak them up nicely. Thank you for watching. If you want some more plant-based cooking inspiration, then check out this video.